Well, it's another busy earning weeks. A lot of stocks are posting earnings this week, and you're sure that you're probably trying to figure out which ones are the best stocks to be in and which ones you want to stay away from. So I'm going to look at some of the most anticipated earnings for this week, some of the bigger companies, and we're going to use the power of the VectorVest system to determine which ones we want to be on the side, whether it's to the bullish side or to the bearish side, by way of the true analysis. Why? Because we do the work, you reap the rewards. All right, so let's go out. Here's a listing. This is from Twitter. I always look at this at the beginning of the week to see what earnings are, coming out. Tyson just reported today. They reported a big loss, and the stock is feeling the effect. Palantir is another stock that I do like. We're going to look at that one today. Novavax is a stock that we're going to look at. Airbnb. We will look at Lucid. So instead of just going through the list to try to figure out which ones I'm doing, let's go straight to the VectorVest system. So here's my watch list of the stocks that I'm looking at for you guys to keep your eyes on. And I'm not looking at any news. We already know that these are all about earnings. So I want to use the power of the software to see what side of the stock you should be on if you want to be bullish or you want to be bearish on it. The first thing is we've got 10 stocks. The 10 stocks are sorted by our master indicator, VST. Something that I want you to keep in mind. There's only 2 stocks in the list that have a VST above 1. That's important. And I think that in this earnings phase, going into the next quarter, we're going to see a lot more stocks miss earnings based upon what's going on with inflation and interest rates. Even though the Fed is thinking about pausing, a lot of people think that that's the case, or, cutting, whatever you want to think about it. Companies are feeling the effect of the fast rising interest rates. It's going to affect the bottom line. So what have companies been doing? Well, a lot of companies have been offering dividends. A lot of companies been buying back shares. A lot of companies been laying off people. A lot of things that can be done for a company to make the bottom line look better. But are they making money? And that's the important part. You can do a lot of things to mask up what's going on, but are they making money? And we have an indicator called relative safety. Relative safety tells us how safe the stock is, but it looks at the company's ability to meet or exceed earnings expectations. But I also want to look at things like earnings growth. I also want to look at things like sales and sales growth. Because if earnings is the engine that drives a stock higher, sales is the fuel within the engine to drive the stock higher. So as I look at all of these things, again, we're going to do the work and we're going to try to put you on the best side. Now, a couple of things. The market looks like it wants to go down. That's going to affect about 80% of the stocks in the market. Then I don't have an indicator that talks about forward guidance. You do know that a stock can beat earnings and with the forward guidance still fall in value. So I'm going to look at it from the perspective of the companies that should beat earnings, but even if they beat earnings, if the forward guidance is not there, and I'm thinking a lot of these companies' forward guidance is not going to be pretty, it's going to affect the stock to the downside. So I got no indicator for that, folks. Sorry. I can just do the best that I can. All right, starting with Occidental Petroleum, Airbnb. Now, Occidental Petroleum, big news move today. Warren Buffett said that he wasn't going to buy enough to take control of it. It affected the company to the downside, not by a lot, but I do like the company. Warren Buffett buys companies, not stocks. Company is undervalued. It's got good upside potential. Not altogether safe, but if I move this over a little bit, they do grow their earnings at 29% a year. I do like that. I like the undervalued. I like the upside potential. Even though the safety is not where I'd like it to be, this is more of an aggressive pick, but it's a solid company. Airbnb, big thing about this, a lot of advertising going on between Airbnb and VRBO. VRBO is saying, why rent a place where the owner is, where Airbnb, you rent a room in someone's house and they're there. A lot of going backs. That's just marketing. The stock is grossly overvalued, though. Does have good upside potential. The safety is not there. It's got a VST above 1. But they're doing enough business to grow their earnings at a pace of 43% a year. Let's go over to the sales. Sales growth, high up there, 24%. So I'm not sure if the VRBO is affecting them. They're doing business. I don't like that it's overvalued, though. Does have good upside potential. I'd be careful with this. The safety is not there, but they are growing it at the best clip of stocks on here. Wondering if that advertising campaign is not helping them. So I think that they beat, even though the safety doesn't show it. I think because of the earnings growth and the sales growth, I think that possibly they beat it. Let's go look at Yeti. Everybody knows Yeti. They have the drinking utensils, a better word. They have a lot of containers. What I don't like about it, it is overvalued, fundamentally not sound. Earnings growth, -1. Are they selling enough in order to beat earnings? Let's go over it. Watch the sales growth here. Only 1%. It's a competitive market. Everybody's got a knockoff of a Yeti product. I think based upon this, they possibly miss earnings. I think that they possibly miss earnings. The earnings safety is not there and the earnings growth is not there. Again, I could be 50% right or 50% wrong. It's going to go, but I'm just looking at the data. All right. Disney has still got a PR issue going on with them and the governor of Florida. Way overvalued. I'm wondering if the park attendance is there yet. I don't know. And I know that there's the blowback back and forth about Disney being woke or not being woke. I wonder if that's affecting them adversely. Overvalued, the relative value and relative safety is not there. Pretty flat as a stock. Earnings growth at 10. I think that more so from political than not, I think that they miss. Earnings relative safety is not there. Let's go look at the sales growth. Sales growth is 7%. In millions, 84 billion in sales. And then, of course, you got the streaming services. I wonder if they're keeping up in a very crowded market with the streaming services. I think that possibly overvalued. Maybe they missed. I think more so with the PR. Tyson missed. Fairly valued. What was going on with that? Upside potential is not there. Relative safety is above. Earnings growth is negative. Even before earnings, the negative growth being negative was a red sign. Palantir, a stock that I like, grossly overvalued. Still a speculative play, but they grow their earnings at a 25% clip. I think they beat in the last earnings. I think they have a chance to beat again. I think a lot of people are pushing it already higher. SoundCloud, I like it from the AI space, but grossly overvalued. Speculative stock, 8%. I don't know. I think the AI momentum makes it possible for them to beat, but fundamentally not sound. Lucid, expensive cars, fundamentally not sound, overvalued, but they grow their earnings at a clip of 22%. I think the problem for them is going to be delivery of the vehicle. I think they miss. Novavax, way overvalued, fundamentally not sound, negative earnings growth rate. I think COVID sales affects them adversely. I think they miss. Beyond Meat, way overvalued, not fundamentally sound, negative earnings growth rate. I know people want to eat more healthily, but I don't think that they beat earnings. All right, so for the standpoint, I've given you 10 stocks to look at. I could be right, I could be wrong, I could be crazy, but it just may be a lunatic you're looking for. Hopefully, this at least put these in your watch lists. Keep your eyes on them. All I used was the power of the VectorVest software to get you the information. No news. If you like it, hit the like button, hit the share button. Let people know what we're doing here in VectorVest. Till next time, see ya.